I'm here with one of my star students, Isaiah. Isaiah educates vocalists on how to really live to their fullest potential. Isaiah, tell everyone where you were at before we met.
Yeah, so I was in a spot to where I was just charging low prices for, my singing lessons. Like I initially started out just doing stuff like by the hour, just like one-off lessons here and there. And then as I kind of started to explore the online game a little bit more, I got to a point to where, I was charging like 150 a month. But the thing is, what sucked about it is I would get a student and they would stay for like no more than 3 months tops. And it also too was like such a struggle to actually even get them to show up, and just there was never any like sustainability. Like the most I had ever done was, it was like I think 1,500 in one single month that I was making, which is not sustainable or in any way a long term business strategy.
Yeah. And what was you just had a record month for yourself. What was that?
Yeah, so we're up to the point of 15K so far in sales. That's
Nice.
also to like 100% profit. And it's crazy that like, you know, I was able to get those people through just like total strangers. Like wasn't friends of friends, wasn't nothing, and like it wasn't even like based off of running ads or anything else. It was literally just following the methods that you have in the program, which is insane to me.
So no ads you're running, nothing. This was totally organic, cold traffic. You just used our organic methods and you're able to have 15,000 in profit this last
Yeah,
month.
completely. And the thing is that's even more mind-boggling to me is a year ago when I was stuck trying to do things my own way. I mean, I had literally lost more than like 6 grand running ads to the old way that I was selling my singing lessons. And I remember I was like telling my friends and family, I was like, hey, I'm going through a really rough time right now. Like things are getting really tight. I just lost all this money in my business. And I'm so happy that like I mean we're getting close to Christmas here, and it's like I'm gonna go visit my family next week, and I'm literally gonna be able to come back and tell them, wow, I finally actually made this thing work.
Dude, so proud of you. That's amazing. Yeah, so what advice would you give to anyone else that's thinking about doing something like this?
Follow the method. Follow the method exactly how Paul teaches it. Because I've struggled with pride quite a bit. And even before I was in the program, I was hesitant to so many things because I was like, oh, I know my way. I know this works out. Like, I got a little bit of something here, maybe I can figure it all out on my own. No, no. And even like when I got in the program, the only reason I didn't get the result quicker was there would just be certain things that you'd say that I'd think, no, I'll just do it this other way I'm used to. But it's like, no, no, I need to do it exactly the way that it is outlined inside of the program.
Amazing. And then you had also have experience you've done some other like mentorship programs and stuff. What's different about what your experience is inside our community?
Well, yeah, but before joining like your program, Paul, like I had dropped, it was like 25 grand total that I had spent on multiple different coaching programs. And I will say that the main thing is none of those people were helping out musicians. And I would go to like program after program. I go to business conference after business conference. And people would always say things to me like, oh, you're trying to like do a singing lessons business online. I don't think that can work out. You got to do something fancy like real estate or crypto or drop shipping. And it always seeded this like doubt inside of me that making sustainable income teaching music is not possible. And then like when I came across your ad, I'm like, wow, this is the first dude that he's actually exclusively teaching musicians how to have successful online businesses. And like I said, not only just the fact that it's catered and geared towards musicians, your program has the highest success rate of any program that I've been in. Like I'm talking, there was like one program that I joined, and it was still a good program. Don't get me wrong, it was a good program. It helped me with some things, but there would be people who would join the program, and a year in, they would still be trying to just even figure out how to get started. And it's like your process, it's so simple. Um, and it's just like the other thing too is like I was very, very shocked to see that how many beginners that knew absolutely nothing got the levels of success that they did. Because like a lot of other programs I would join, they were all right, but more than half of the success stories were people that they already knew a fair amount about business. They already kind of had something going. And like I was shocked, like there'd be people that are like, man, I just know scales. I just have my music degree. You know, I know passagios, I know chords, like that's all I know. I don't know anything about business. And literally within a month or two, they're making like 5, 10, 20 grand. It was just mind blowing.
Cool. And what would you say to anyone that's on the fence about moving forward on something like this and working with us?
I waited, I've been at this entrepreneurship journey for what, like 8 years now. And I waited 8 years for something like Paul to come along. And I would give absolutely anything if I could go back in time to actually like look at your stuff. Because actually, one other thing I forgot to mention is it was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. A friend of mine actually sent me one of your ads, and I have no idea why, but for whatever reason, I didn't even like engage or click on it. And it was probably just like my mind was like, oh, you know, I'm not ready to be successful yet, and it probably mentally ignored it. But legitimately, like years ago, I could have gotten the same progress I have now back then. But it's legitimately like if you're seeing Paul's stuff, this is the time to do it, and it is absolutely going to help you better than anyone else there in the industry.
Appreciate you, Isaiah. Great work, man. Really proud of you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Thanks,
Yeah,
Paul.
take care.